Have you ever wondered what happens when someone's head is cut off? More specifically, are they still alive for a few seconds afterward? It's a grim subject, but we're here to shed some light on this phenomenon. So, let's not waste any time and get right into it. There have been historical accounts, particularly from public executions, where witnesses claim to have observed signs of apparent consciousness in severed heads. However, these accounts are often anecdotal, and the validity of such claims is questionable. Many experts believe that these observations may be attributed to misinterpretation or sensationalism. In modern times, scientists have conducted experiments and studies to better understand the effects of decapitation on consciousness. One famous example is the work of French scientist Dr. Gabriel Bourru, on June 28, 1905. Bourru witnessed the execution of condemned criminal, Henri Languille, by guillotine. Dr. Bourru claimed that when he called out Languille's name, his eyes lifted and the pupils adjusted and appeared to make eye contact with him. However, it's important to acknowledge that these accounts were subjective and lacked scientific rigor. Without proper measurements of brain activity or extensive studies, it becomes challenging to draw definitive conclusions about the existence of consciousness after decapitation. Our bodies rely on a complex network of organs, tissues, and cells that work together to sustain life. The brain, as the command center, is responsible for controlling and coordinating these functions. The brain requires a constant supply of oxygen and nutrients, which it receives through the bloodstream. Now, imagine a scenario where the head is severed from the body. Would the brain still be able to function independently, at least for a brief period? To answer this question, we must understand the relationship between the brain and the rest of the body. When the head is separated from the body, the vital connection between the brain and the heart is abruptly severed. Without a functioning heart to pump blood, the supply of oxygen and nutrients to the brain is immediately halted. As a result, the brain quickly begins to suffer from oxygen deprivation, leading to a loss of consciousness. Although consciousness is lost almost instantly, the brain can remain metabolically active for a short period. This means that while the person may appear to be alive for a few seconds, their conscious experience has ceased. The brain cells begin to die rapidly due to the lack of oxygen and nutrients, and without these vital resources, the brain cannot maintain its functions. So, while the body may exhibit some involuntary movements, such as muscle twitches or convulsions, they are not a sign of continued consciousness. These movements are a result of the residual electrical activity in the spinal cord and peripheral nerves, which can persist for a brief time after decapitation. In more recent times, advances in neuroscience have allowed researchers to explore this topic further. One such study, conducted by Dutch scientist Dr. J.C. de Capelle, involved monitoring the EEG, electroencephalogram, activity of decapitated animals. The results showed a rapid decline in brain activity within a few seconds after decapitation, confirming the loss of consciousness. While these studies shed light on the topic, it's important to remember that performing similar experiments on humans is both ethically and legally prohibited. Therefore, our understanding of the experience following decapitation is limited to these animal studies and historical accounts. Based on the current scientific knowledge available, it appears that consciousness is lost almost immediately after decapitation. Although the brain may exhibit residual electrical activity and the body may display involuntary movements, these are not indicators of continued awareness. The brain's dependence on the body's circulatory system for oxygen and nutrients makes it impossible for it to sustain consciousness after being separated from the body. But let's not forget the chicken named Miracle Mike who lived for 18 months without his head. Lloyd Olson of Fruita, Colorado was sent out to get a chicken for dinner, so he cut off the head with an axe. Since he did not die, he kept him and fed him directly into his open esophagus with an eyedropper until he eventually choked to death. Take the Miracle Mike true story, along with the facts, and mull on that a while. That's all for today's exploration into this rather grisly subject. If you found this video informative or intriguing, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more thought-provoking content. Remember, science continues to unlock the mysteries of our existence, and it's through curiosity and exploration that we deepen our understanding of the world around us. Stay curious, Stay informed, and until next time, keep pondering.